You're making big profits from my work, my risk, my sweat. But that is okay. Because I elected it to make that deal. But now, the deal is over. I want my end, and I am out. My money in 24 hours, or you will wear your ass for a hat. Okay, get the hell out of here.
Junk food supper.
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 Welcome to Junk Food Supper, the pretty regular but not exactly weekly podcast where a couple of guys get together and we talk about all kinds of crazy ass movies and other things like that. And we also praise the Lord Jesus Christ for saving Gonzo's life and only giving him a bee sting. I'm Parker, and I'm joined, as always, by Sean Byron. How are you, Sean Byron?
I am feeling relieved, for one, that Gonzo seems like he's going to make it. I mean, I don't have the verdict on whether or not he might have a bee sting allergy. I think that's TBD, so let's not praise Jesus just yet. But, you know, I guess a little bit of praise is in order, that it was not a rattlesnake bite.
Yeah, it would have been like pretty rare, but like not impossible here where I live, a rattlesnake. So I like scoured the yard afterwards to find a rattlesnake, but it turns out just a bee. So, but man, it being just a bee and not like a rattlesnake or like a scorpion or a black widow, this Gonzo, he is quite the drama queen. And I'm going to make fun of him for the rest of his life.
Don't let him live this one down.
Yeah, because he's over here crying. He was limping. He was shaking. Like, what a weirdo.
And this is not even like an Africanized killer bee, right? We're talking garden variety bee.
Just a bumblebee.
By the way, there was something racist about calling them Africanized, right? It seems weird. Yeah.
Very problematic, those bees.
Speaking of problematic, this past week, I went to the cinema house and I saw our good friend Thomas Cruise in Mission Impossible Part 7.
Oh, how did you enjoy it?
I
And
loved
were
it.
you alone in the theater, apparently?
Well, let's not go, spreading rumors about the demise of the film industry via the poor box office there were people. I mean, I'm not like fully full, but I don't think movies are fully full anymore. I think those days are over.
That's probably true. Unless you're Mario. Mario did well. Wasn't there another one this year that did pretty well?
Spider-Man, right?
Spider-Man did well. So, yeah, it's happening, but not pretty much everything has bombed. Fast X, I don't think did well, and that's like usually a shoe-in to do well. So, yeah, it's been wild.
Well, I thought they did well in terms of delivering me the thrills that I was craving. I had a great time at the box office. It was... Or not at the box office, but in the theater. The box office itself was typical exchange of cash for tickets. But yeah, no, it was fun. I had fun. I mean, I think it's probably my favorite Mission Impossible movie. This is a series of movies that I like. I feel like they don't really make these kinds of fun action movies for adults anymore. And by for adults, I mean it's not about superheroes. It is kind of, I guess, a little bit brain dead because most of these movies have the exact same plot, and this one's really no exception, but still fun. Dudes are launching themselves off cliffs. What more can I ask for?
Yeah. I'm like not hyped about it, but I might go see it. I like a lot of the cast. I like that Rebecca Ferguson lady who's in it.
Yeah.
And Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I guess I like Tom Cruise, but I might go see it. There's nothing else out right now.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a few days of dead time before Barbie and Oppenheimer take over the world.
Yeah.
You might as well go see this first.
Yeah, I got a couple of days.
Probably
I
will
might
be
do
no
that.
screens left for this film once those two guys open up.
True. And there's that big horror movie, that new A20. I think it's A24. There's like a big like ghostly horror movie coming out that people are hyped about.
Oh, that sounds on topic for this podcast, but I know nothing about it.
Yeah. I don't know. People say it's scary. I don't know. I guess there was like a sneak preview, so people are going nuts for it. But yeah, so I guess there's going to be a lot of stuff in the theater, and if we just wait a few more days.
Yeah. What about your past few days, though? You get up to any antics other than saving the life of Gonzo?
No, just saved Gonzo's life. The wife went with her mom to Vegas for the weekend, so I just had like a dude's night, like a dude's weekend out with the three dogs. We just like hung around and like I shared my pepperonis with them, and like we lived like real bachelors. Like we stayed up late watching like dog shows and stuff together because they like watching that kind of stuff, or at least Gonzo does. He watches TV, so.
What kind of dog shows we're talking about? Talking about that, what's that guy? The dog whispering guy? Is he involved?
Not that guy. I watched like Gonzo's like some kind of weird mutant. And he knows dogs even if they're not real. So we watched Scooby-Doo together, and he like gets real active and barks at Scooby-Doo when Scooby-Doo's on screen and stuff. So just stuff like that.
It's cool. It sounds like a pleasant weekend.
Yeah. It was fun. Nothing too crazy happened. Just guys being dudes, you know?
Oh no, just guys being dudes?
Exactly.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Well, speaking of guys being dudes, should we talk about one of our dudes, one of my dudes, I guess, in our first segment?
I would love to, because I didn't really know that this was one of your guys. This guy we're going to talk about. I know that you're into guys like this, but not this specific guy. So I'm curious about why you picked this for a topic.
Well, he's kind of becoming one of my guys. Yeah, so I'll just say it right now. The topic that we're doing on this first segment, sorry to disappoint everybody, it has no thematic connection to the film that we're reviewing. We're not going to be talking about thievery up top here. We're not even going to be talking about neon lights necessarily, but we will be talking about a man on the same episode that we talk about a Michael Mann movie. So maybe that's something.
That counts.
And the man is Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle, who is not fully one of my guys yet. I think if we're talking about silent films, probably my number one guy still is Harold Lloyd. I'm also a big Snub Pollard fan. And, there's a few other guys from the time period that I enjoy. But I didn't know much about Fatty Arbuckle at all until, a few months ago. The Criterion Channel put up a bunch of his short films. And I ended up watching, about a dozen of them. And I thought, hey, this guy is pretty funny. And, I feel like we all, even these days, we all love a funny fatso, be it a Chris Farley or a John Halloween Candy. So, I figured why not peep at the granddaddy of them all, Fatty Arbuckle. Probably not actually the first famous funny fatso, but maybe the first to parlay it into worldwide superstardom. I'm not sure if maybe Billy Shakespeare cast a Dom DeLuise type back in the day who was locally renowned for his, round theatrics. But in terms of like worldwide superstar, Fatty really was that. People loved him. These short films sold across the planet in huge numbers. And this week we'll be talking about and actually doing a quick little commentary on top of Coney Island, also known as Fatty at Coney Island. This is a 1917 two-reel silent comedy film that stars, written, and was directed by Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle, also co-stars Buster Keaton. So there is a copy of this, or many copies of this, for free on YouTube. We'll be watching the one uploaded by an uploader named Silver Screen Filmotech. But if you just search Coney Island 1917, you'll probably find a copy. The version that we're watching is about 25 minutes, 56 seconds. And if you're ready, I think we can pretty much just get it rolling. We'll do the countdown. Okay.
Okay. I got it queued up.
So we'll count down. This is not it yet, but just to tell you what I'll be doing 3, 2, 1, and then I'll say 3, 2, 1, and then go, and we'll be clicking on the go. How about that?
Perfect.
Okay. So starting now, 3, 2, 1, go. And so here we have it. Fatty Arbuckle in Coney Island. This is a Paramount picture from 1917. And they did shoot this at Luna Park, Coney Island, which you can see here at night in 1917, which I think makes this one of the cooler silent films of the period because, a lot of them just filmed on kind of nondescript backlots in Los Angeles. But these guys went all the way back to New York to shoot this cool stuff at the theme park. And you get to see some of the cool theme park attractions of the day.
Yeah, not often that you have a movie this old that is shot anywhere other than a soundstage.
Yeah. And I've never been to Coney Island. I know it's still there, but probably not as cool as it was in 1917. We get to see this parade. People are rubbernecking. That looks like Buster Keaton from behind, right? I think.
Yeah, that's a Dalek from Doctor Who, I think.
Yeah. This is the Doctor Who parade, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Very popular at the time. I think these days most people know Fatty for his famous rape trial, which was a huge scandal at the time. I mean, you knew this, Bowman, right? You can't be surprised I'm bringing this up.
Well, yeah. I was wondering how far we got into this before we both had to disavow his personal life.
Well, so that is the thing. I think today people still have an image of Fatty Arbuckle as being this terrible rapist man. But history doesn't seem to bear that out as true. I was recently watching that 1980 Hollywood documentary, and they dedicated nearly a full hour-long episode to Fatty Arbuckle and the trial. And if the documentary is to be believed, it seems like he was totally innocent. He was never convicted. There was a lot of shady stuff going on with the trial. But I did think one thing that was interesting that they mentioned in that doc was even after he was exonerated and they did not convict him for any crimes, William Hayes, the guy who created the Hays Code, still banned Fatty Arbuckle's movies from public showing from 1922 onwards until the end of the Hays Code. So that almost killed the dude. I mean, it did kill his career and almost killed our ability to even see these movies. They could have been lost forever. But an interesting guy who, sadly, his life was destroyed by scandal that seems like was just a lot of baloney. But here he is. Speaking of baloney, here's the fat man himself playing on the beach with a dog. I think you can relate to these kind of dog antics, right?
Indeed so. Now, this man who's named Fatty, he looks like just a slightly more fat than average guy in 2023.
That's fair. And considering that the female co-star with him here on the beach is about his size as well. He doesn't seem strikingly fat, but maybe later in the film when he disrobes a little bit, we might be treated to a better glimpse of his fatness. Guy was fat. I mean, he was on studio prescribed morphine, I think at this time in 1917, due to pain from his fatness. He was so fat. He had all this pain.
Yeah. Well, at the time, a pretty extraordinarily fat guy, but not fat by today's standards necessarily.
I guess
a little bit fat by today's standards.
When you're dealing with a Great Depression, probably most people are skin and bones. The fact that this guy could even eat enough to fill out a suit is impressive.
True.
So they're hanging around on the beach. People are wearing their best beach costumes. Very few long butts on this beach in 1917. Mm-hmm. Instead, this is back when you would swim in a full 3-piece suit with a tie.
Yeah, those were the days.
Okay. Oh, she's lost her husband. Okay, we're getting some plot is being introduced here.
Fatty Arbuckle weighed somewhere between 250 and 300 pounds. So that is actually a little bit, definitely fatter than the average person, even in 2023. But
it's not doctor recommended.
Yeah, he might be
at that weight.
Yeah, this might be early in his fat career, maybe, because he doesn't look too far gone so far.
So he's trying to get into this park, trying to get into Luna Park.
Mm-hmm. Which is, of course, a reference to the Bret Easton Ellis novel Lunar Park, which came out in 2005.
It seems like it must be.
Mm-hmm. Now, was Buster Keaton already famous at this point? Or is he like playing
Not
second
quite.
banana?
Yeah,
okay.
he's kind of second banana. He came up with Fatty. That's where he really started his career. And then not too long after this, he would break out and start doing his own. I think largely because of the scandal. You know, he had to get away and start his own career. Otherwise, he might have been with Fatty for longer.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, there are fewer, like, there aren't any real crazy Buster Keaton kind of stunts in this one. This is more of just kind of a silly little trifle of a silent.
So to go back to Fatty Arbuckle's possible crimes.
Yeah.
Was he just accused of being like a normal rapist, or was it like, it was kids, right?
No, it was, I think she was an adult woman, but it was an actress, kind of a failed actress who, you know, was potentially raped and did later die of like a bladder infection or something. And so it seemed horrific, but all of the links putting Fatty like at the scene of the crime were extremely tenuous at best. And like the people making the accusations were known to have made false accusations in the past that were proven. And there was some kind of like, seemed like there was some bribery going on. The documentary goes into great detail on it, but yeah, he ultimately was found innocent of all charges. So anyways, nobody's... Well, go ahead.
Well, what is happening right now? Is that like a waterbed racetrack?
Dude.
What the fuck is going on?
This is the witching waves, and nobody's thinking about bad times when they're on the witching waves. This looks like a great time.
This is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Is it water underneath there? I would assume. This can't be safe.
Yeah, I mean, so it looks like we've got these little bumper cars that are on top of maybe a plastic sheet or something that is floating on top of these waves. And so you drive these bumper cars around, and it seems like you could maybe catch air.
Yeah, and they're riding around like the little go-karts they're riding around on are made out of wicker, it looks like. This is astounding. Why does this technology not exist anymore? Probably
There's a lot of that going on. I mean, well, probably it was horrendously unsafe, is my guess. And
yeah.
Maybe a pain in the ass to maintain, and could be a million reasons. But you do watch this, and it's like, man, this Coney Island used to look fucking cool. Like, look at all this production design that they got for free just by shooting here.
Yeah. Now it's just full of like Russian mafia dudes.
Yeah. And like liquor stores and stuff. But back in the day, man, yeah. You got this pretty looking lake behind you and all these well-appointed men and their families going out for a nice weekend stroll.
Babies eating ice cream, just sitting up like little humans.
Everybody's having fun. Buster Keaton's there testing his strength.
Anyway, was that... Wait, oh, okay. Oh, for some reason, a second ago, I thought that the guy with the ice cream was Buster Keaton. So I was like, how is there two Buster Keatons? That's the most amazing effect I've ever seen.
No,
but yeah.
This is back when people only had like 4 different faces, you know? But this guy's making the most of his face, making all kinds of expressions.
Yeah.
People are falling over. We got all kinds of physical comedy gags.
Yeah. This looks like a Chris Benoit match with all these front drop kicks into tables.
I think the thing that I like about Fatty Arbuckle, you know, that I've seen so far, there is like a sense of like enthusiasm. Like it seems like he's having a lot of fun making these movies.
Could be.
I mean, maybe he's just thinking about these terrible crimes he's going to go commit.
It seems like, isn't that also the fat guy from Laurel and Hardy? Didn't he also wear this type of hat? Was it like mandatory for a fat guy to wear this sort of round hat?
I think so, yeah. I think it was the law back then. You know, it had to, the shape of the hat must match the shape of your stomach. was, I think, the ruling. So if you've got a rotund belly, get in one of these rotund hats. So yeah, this is just a lot of kind of horseplay so far, it seems like. Although I'm enjoying these scenic views of the park. We got this cool log flume ride.
Yeah, that looks pretty intense.
I'd ride that.
It says, there's a sign that says, "Gentlemen, kindly sit on the left side of the boat." I wonder why gentlemen would have to sit on the left side. That's a really cool camera shot that they got it while going down the actual thing, it looked like. Or maybe not. I guess it could have.
I think it was real.
Yeah.
There's another movie. Oh, yeah, there's Fatty's butt. There's another movie, I guess it's about 10 years after this. It is a sound picture from a guy named Eddie Cantor, who was another comedian around this time, that I just watched a couple days ago, wherein like the final 15 minutes is, no joke, I think maybe the best roller coaster action scene I've seen in a movie. And it's from like 1929 or something. So they were qualified to make movies about amusement parks back then somehow. It's one of their first things that they figured out.
Yeah, seems like. I like that he slapped the shit out of that fish.
Yeah. Oh, poor Fatty. He's so fat he can barely swim. And he pulled Buster Keaton right into the water with him.
Mm-hmm. There's a book that I've been meaning to read by Jerry Stahl, the Permanent Midnight fellow.
Oh, yeah.
He wrote this book about Fatty Arbuckle, but I think it's like a fictionalized account of his life. It's like sort of based on truth and sort of just like a novel, I think is the premise of it. But it's like the only book of his I haven't read. And like some of his, I think he's got a couple of new ones I haven't read, but I've been wanting to read it for a while.
Sounds cool. So it looks like they've gone in now to rent a bathing suit. You could rent a bathing suit for $25 back then. Seems like a fair price.
Yeah. Put it right on your junk and then turn it in. Let some other guy put his junk on it.
I don't want to oversell things, but this will lead now to one of my favorite sequences in the short. You'll know it when you see it. But Fatty's about to get up to some shit.
I'm surprised that they found a fat lady as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so Fatty has stolen the clothing, the bathing costume from this old woman because he's too fat. They don't have anything for him.
Oh, that's a great joke.
That's a funny joke. That's the Statue of Liberty's husband, Fatty says.
Because it was a tall guy.
Man. Yeah. So here we go. Fatty Arbuckle getting nude. Are we going to get to see him drop trow? Can we see it? Can we see it? Oh, he doesn't want us to see it. He's asking the cameraman to pan upwards in a breaking the fourth wall moment.
A very meta joke.
It's pretty advanced comedy for 1917.
Mm-hmm. I was hoping that we would actually just see that dick.
Well, if you want that, you're going to have to die of a bladder infection, unfortunately.
Yeah. That would have been very advanced comedy.
Seems like Buster Keaton's going to be applying for the lifeguard job here at the Luna Park swimming hole. And what has he stumbled upon? But Fatty Arbuckle in ladies' clothing? Is this a cross-dressing comedy from 1917?
Very ahead of its time.
That's my favorite part, is just seeing Fatty dressed up like a lady.
And then watching him kick the shit out of Buster Keaton in like an extremely violent fashion.
That's how Buster liked it. That's his fuck style.
Yeah. I like all these fake mustaches. Yeah,
I think that cop in the back with the fake mustache might have been Buster again. Or it could, again, just be that there's only 4 faces.
Yeah. They couldn't afford a lot of faces back in these days. It was Great Depression times.
Big role for an African-American performer in the background of that scene, sitting silently in a jail cell.
Yeah.
It's groundbreaking for them at the time, sadly.
These are the absolute...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, these are the absolute worst dressing rooms I've ever seen. They look like jail cells. Like, it's just horrible to look at.
And minimal privacy. Men and women just kind of reaching from one changing room to the other. But Fatty's got his wig. He's looking great. He loves his look.
This is well, sorry to interrupt, but like, you know, I know like a lot of like nowadays we'll talk about like, oh, young kids could never understand this movie. You know, where like people talk on a telephone or like, you know, this movie about record players or whatever like that, you know, but like, this is hard to understand. The idea that a guy has to rent a bathing suit and then like he's so fat that like he has to dress like a woman. Like it's like just take off your shirt and go to the fucking beach. You know, like seems like a whole nother fucking planet. Like the rules that these people had back in the day.
Yeah, but also it could just be that maybe he knew that they wouldn't have his size, and maybe he was just looking for an elaborate ruse that would get him into a lady's swimming costume. I mean, who's not to say that's not Fatty's preference to begin with?
Well, that could be. That could be.
And now a very risque scene with Fatty in the women's changing room. Now they are all fully clothed, but by 1917's definition, this is not fully clothed, I would surmise. I'm seeing some ankles.
Oh my. Yeah, this is before the code, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why Fatty